Get ready. Minions will be deployed in 5 seconds.
Welcome to the endless plane. We are Thai G with the blessing of Song Thong Thai. Our topic today is one of the most hated topics recently, which relates to Gen Z's mental health. And to be more specific, it is FOMO.
So, what is FOMO? Fears of missing out. FOMO is a unique term introduced in 2004 to describe a phenomenon observed on social networking sites. FOMO includes two processes. Firstly, the perception of missing out, followed by the compulsive behavior to maintain these social connections. FOMO is a natural psychological phenomenon, and we have all experienced at least one. This phenomenon only becomes negative since we do not know how to control this fear. To put it more pointedly, let's look at the screen and watch our pre-prepared situations.
Okay, so for the very first situation, this girl has a ton of deadlines but suddenly received an invitation from her bestie. She felt hesitant at first, but in the end still decided to join them. She was afraid that she could not submit her deadline on time, but then she would even be more scared of missing on her friend's interesting story if she hasn't showed up.
At this situation, there was a school event that all her friends took part in and posted numerous selfies about it, while she had to stay at home and stuck in hundreds of assignments. At that time, she was so lonely, regretful, and missed out her friends.
About this girl, she hasn't applied for any job, so when she woke up seeing her neighbor and friends hurry off and go to work, she was so confused and might have a sense of missing out.
Now, let's take some time to recall whether you did or you have been experiencing this feeling. Close your eyes in 5 seconds and reflect on yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time's out! So now, if you guys still confused, let's follow me, Song Thong Thai, to dig deep into this topic. FOMO is driven by the natural desire to make sure you don't miss out on positive outcomes that you can experience. The innate desire for social connection and belonging. It's natural for humans to feel a need for interpersonal relationships and want to belong to something that's greater than themselves.
FOMO can also be viewed as a self-regulatory issue that occurs as a result of situational or chronic deficits when it comes to meeting your psychological needs. Accordingly, low level of competence, autonomy, or connectedness, which have been identified as vulnerability factors for behavioral regulation in other domains, are also associated with increased FOMO. For example, among college students, FOMO was found to be associated with difficulties in adjusting to college. This suggests that students who suffer from deficit in their psychology needs, especially when it comes to the need to be connected with others, and who suffer from related issues such as loneliness, depression, and anxiety, experience a desire to stay constantly connected with what they are doing.
So now we, Thai G, will suggest some solutions that we can apply to get out of FOMO and become more confident. First of all, we should schedule our time away from electronic and technology applications by setting time for social networking sites, using Do Not Disturb phone mode, or turn off all the notification temporarily. Unfollow all the accounts that keep you comparing yourself to others, and rather than over-scrolling on social media, you should turn to reading books, or going for a walk, or even chatting with one of your friends.
The next solution is that we can learn how to set our goals based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this is the theory of human motivation, indicating that effort and motivation are correlated in the context of human behavior. Maslow's theory has given rise to a new way to look at people's needs, problems, and difficult circumstances. At one point in a person's life can cause them to fixate on the particular set of needs, and this can affect their future happiness. Therefore, when you have a list of prioritized order, you will know what you want and what you need to do. From that, when you can easily follow strategy to the final goal. Plus, when you focus on your priorities, you will realize that other achievements cannot shake your mind anymore, and eventually you can get out of the vicious circle of being FOMO.
It's not hard to forget that social media is a highlight reel of other people's lives. But you know what? We often see their best moments, but we don't usually see their struggles. So instead of comparing our insights with other outsides, let's invest in and discover ourselves in depth. We should clearly define our personality characteristics via some free MBTI that are available online. We can also figure out what type our intelligence is: musical, logical, linguistic, or something else by answering a series of queries on Science of People website, for example. And when we all understand those things, we may realize the areas that we have better to invest in to further develop themselves. Each individual is born as sprout, and this life is a fertile ground for each young tree to grow in their own way.
Last but not least, let's learn how to become a JOMO person. So what is JOMO? JOMO stands for joys of missing out, and this is the opposite term of FOMO. When you are a JOMO boy or JOMO girl, you feel joyful at the idea of not being involved. You proudly live life in a slow lane and derive pleasure from social inclusion. For example, if you feel FOMO when you have to meet a deadline at home and others engage in a social event, instead of remaining in the sense of regret and insecurity, you should be optimistic that you are finalizing the deadline, one way to cut the depression of your life. Remember that you cannot attend every social event in the calendar. Sometimes you need to find the solace by sticking to the original plan. In such a situation, when you freeze up that comparative and anxious space in your brain, you have so much more time, energy, emotion to conquer your true priorities. Since FOMO mainly results from overusing social networking sites, now we have a challenge for you guys.
Join our challenge. 3 days without smartphone. Truly and fully enjoy your life.
Leave comment below to let us know the process and results. Goodbye! Thank you for listening!